What's up, guys? We don't fake anything around here. I'm still wearing my work clothes. Just got home from work. Gonna make a real quick video to touch on a question that I got asked in the comment section. And it was, what's the worst withdrawal symptom that I experienced when I was going through the withdrawals? Besides sleep, because then that's his question. Besides sleep, because that was the worst part, was at night. And if you've gone through Kratom withdrawals, you know exactly what I'm talking about, especially when you're dosing so often at a hefty dose like I was doing. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But aside from the sleep was the restlessness I got in my body. I would mainly get it at night, but I had it throughout the day. It started in my legs and then it went to my arms. About a weekend, I remember my arms starting to hurt really bad. I felt like I needed to stretch my arms. And that was a big one, a really big one. After that followed motivation. I had no motivation to get anything done. Didn't matter how much caffeine I took. It didn't matter anything. I could not find motivation to do anything. I still tried to go to the gym, which was bad because I would see myself in the mirror and didn't like the way I looked, and that created a whole another host of problems. Luckily I had family that was checking in on me. My wife was checking in on me a lot, but that got to a point where it's kind of annoying because as you're laying in bed, thinking about just how shitty your life is, when you constantly have people checking on you, it can be good, but it can also be frustrating because you're just being reminded of how shitty you are. Which brings me to the absolute worst part about the withdrawal, at least for me, was I was a shell of my former self. Prior to Kratom, pretty much a workaholic, gymaholic. I was doing a lot of cool things, in my opinion, what I would figure is cool in small town living. But just as a man, as a provider, I felt like I was on a great track. Even while I was on Kratom, I was still on a good track. But when you're going through those withdrawals and you're going through that shitty feeling where you can't get nothing done, you have no motivation, you just feel like complete ass. And I felt that was the worst because seeing myself in the mirror at the gym or at home or just lying in bed in the fetal position, because it really did put me down, in bed in the fetal position, not being able to sleep at night, having all these horrible thoughts because you can't sleep. And if you don't sleep for a week, you're gonna have some bad thoughts. I mean, it's just a very depressive state. So overall, that was the worst part for me, was being in a position to where I just didn't feel like the man that I should have felt like. And that's just for me. I mean, I'm not saying anything about what it takes to be a man or whatever. I'm not even trying to go into that. I'm just saying, for me, I didn't feel like I was the man that I should have been. And a lot of that had to do with regret. How did I let myself get to that position in life? How was I putting Kratom over? And I wouldn't say I was putting it over my family, but how was I taking so much of it, ignoring the signs, and letting it take over my life, having to take it every 2 hours, being at my son's events or something, or being at when he was in Boy Scouts, doing that whole thing and having to steal birthday parties and having to take Kratom with me to go to these events. Same with the wife, having to take Kratom to go with on dates, to the movies, just any type of outing, having to take Kratom with me. And I did touch on that in one of the videos previously about how we had a vacation planned, and that was kind of the final straw because before we went out, I had to take like 5 or 6 bottles of Kratom with me. Little Gatorade bottles that mix 5 grams in each bottle, but I had to take that with me before we went out. And it's like, this is freaking horrible. Why does this have to be a priority? Well, what happened if I couldn't take this with me? That was kind of the last straw, because the week after that is when I entered detox. But I touched on that in a previous video. If you care, you can go back and look. But that was the worst for me. He also asked what I did to stay busy throughout the day. Honestly, I didn't do a whole lot. I would go to the gym, but that took about 40 minutes out of my day, and it was horrible, like I explained. But for the most part, I would just pace. We were living in a trailer at that time, which was this past year. We just moved into this beautiful home. But we were in a trailer, so I would just pace all day long. Just pace back and forth, try to get an appetite back, try to eat some protein, try to, do what I could in that regard. Then I would lay down, get to a point to where I couldn't lay down no more. I would go take a hot bath, get to a point where I didn't want to do that no more. I would try to binge watch TV shows. I started Yellowstone over again, didn't finish it because just life happened. I was part of Reddit, and that is the forum on there about Kratom withdrawal, quitting Kratom. There are very good people in there. They helped me out a lot. Before I went to detox, I made a big post explaining my story when I got out of detox, because I wasn't allowed to have my phone in there. I just had comment after comment, so that was nice. And I started this YouTube channel. Go back to my second, because my first video was me prior to detox. My second video was post detox. So if you want to go back and look, that was me after I got out of detox, going through the withdrawal, trying to fake a smile to try to get through, because that was the best part of my day, aside from my wife coming home, was making those videos, because I knew I was going through it and I was going to help people that are going through the same thing that I was. Anyway, I hope that answers the question for that guy, that gentleman. If you guys want me to cover something else, I want to do a full day of just day in a life of kind of thing, because I feel like some days I do a lot of cool stuff. So I'm thinking about Saturday, we have a busy day planned, something, just bringing you guys along. I know it's not a fitness channel, but I do take a lot of supplements. I do eat a lot of food. I go to the gym, obviously that day I'm going to the gym. It'd be cool just to show you guys a day in the life of me, for anybody that cares. If you don't have to watch it. I'm not gonna get my feelings hurt. But anyway, I'm out.